Lines are one of the essential parts of making art. It is very hard to draw a picture without lines or shapes or values. You need one of those components in order to be able to create an image. And so it just so happens that I enjoy drawing lines very much. I enjoy putting them together in a variety of different ways, from organic style type of designs, things that are based on architecture I've seen, little silly nature things that turn into crazy things. I've got some other ones here. I've just recently really found an enjoyment in being able to create things that are more geometric. This is my sketchbook that pretty much goes everywhere with me. And so just kind of having fun, very inspired kind of right now by 1950s style artwork. And the mandala. This one was a fun one that I've been working on for a while. This is usually done at the dentist office, so to me this feels like a dentist office. And so today we're going to go ahead and get started, but in the meantime I'm going to go ahead and pause this video just to see if it has recorded well. Okay, I'm pretty excited. It recorded well. This is the first time I've ever made a how-to video. Anyways, so I have my nice clean piece of paper here and some random objects I found laying around my desk and a variety of drawing tools that were in my purse that I just pulled out. You don't have to have anything fancy to do this. A black ballpoint pen is totally fine. If you want to do something geometric, some sort of straight edge, that's why I pulled out my Cinemark gift card. If you're sitting in your kitchen, you should have lots of little circles and maybe odd-shaped things laying around. That might be kind of fun to trace out. So when I go to start a doodle, if I'm doing something more organic, I might just start with something like that. And that crazy octopus type of drawing you saw earlier started with something like this. There's nothing that says that I couldn't take that and maybe just draw some other little crazy things to go with it. Oh, that little bubble's kind of interesting there. Maybe I should try to repeat that. I didn't expect it, but I kind of like it. Looks like they're peeking out. And so at this point, maybe I take my card and maybe I just give kind of that little curvy thing here and there. Yeah, I just kind of moved it a little bit, but I don't think that's a problem. A lot of times I will go ahead and freehand these too. I just kind of all of a sudden have enjoyed kind of tracing things a little bit more. Not quite sure why. So in this case I've kind of filled up a space now, and I kind of like the way it's shaped and balanced on here. On this last drawing that I did back here, I actually drew a whole bunch of overlapping circles with my pencil, and I don't know if you can see the edge of the pencil line right there, but what I started doing is I started filling those areas in with my pen, and then I was coming back and actually erasing the pencil lines. So it looks like something a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of a fun way. I have like a floating line here that doesn't actually exist, but it shows that, you know, it's probably there. So playing with negative space and positive space. So now that I have this, I'm going to find the center point, and I am just going to draw around here a bunch of times. Sometimes my pen is still wet, and when I move my card I kind of drag the line a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. if I, these things are really for me and they're not really for anybody else. I'm not going to run out and share them with anybody. I like doing this just to do something other than flip through my phone, which, if we're all being really honest, that gets old after a while. And this is also so that I don't have to make small talk with people I really don't want to talk to. And I find myself making small talk a lot. So I'm going to continue to doodle here. I might add more lines here if I want. This section right here, maybe I'll go through and actually fill this with polka dots. I kind of liked how those dots were turning out on the other paper. This is where a felt tip pen makes polka dots easier, because all I have to do is just touch the paper with the tip of my pen. A marker is a felt tip pen, or is an example of a felt tip pen. But as you're doing your doodles today, I did say that we were kind of focusing on lines, so I'm going to add some lines to my dots. And really truly, I did end up drawing a crazy line and then a whole bunch of shapes, because I took those lines and I connected them. But I'm not terribly worried about that, because once again, we're doodling. If I was working with a buddy right now, we would talk about drawing small little short lines, and being able to control a short line like this takes a little bit of fine motor. And so if you notice your buddy can't stop and start at will, this might be something little that would be kind of fun to practice with them. You could start here, stop here, start here, stop here, start here, start. If you have some friends, I have other friends that like to make little tiny marks like this. Our friend Grace likes to make her little tiny marks. And so with her, maybe it would be, hey Grace, let's make curvy lines. Can we make curvy lines that are a little bit longer? And I can fill this whole area up with curvy lines and see if she can do a continual line, because once again, the act of putting a pen or pencil to paper and actually holding it down and dragging it all the way, it takes some skill and some practice. Some of you might have noticed already that maybe you have several starts and stops on this. Now, if you start to notice, because I had this curvy line and I'm following this curvy line, I've now kind of created this little bump, and it's creating this really cool little optical illusion. And the lines don't have to be perfect. Some of mine are getting a little closer, some of mine are a little farther away, and that's okay, because once again, this is for me. This is not for anyone else. But if you look around at your clothes, maybe you look around at patterns in your house, maybe on dish towels, or maybe on your couch, maybe in curtains. If you've ever walked through IKEA or Home Goods, you'll notice those designs and patterns out there, drawn on things or painted, woven into fabric or whatever the case is. That is actually a legitimate art job. That is a design job, and there are people that create designs and patterns specifically for upholstery fabric, or designs to go on notebooks, or all kinds of different things. So now that I've had this on here and had these areas on here, I do like to go back and I like to make some of my lines thicker. And I'm just going to kind of let this one kind of hover along the outside. And I'm going to color this in. Just because sometimes the same weight of line just gets a little bit boring. If I had a Sharpie, which I do, but it's all the way on the other side of my desk, I could pull that out and use that. I might have a thicker tipped pen. I love drawing with the 0.5, is it 0.05 or 0.5 precision pens. I buy those for everything. but I like my 0.7, so all of you people that have very specific pencils you like because of the lead, pens come in those same weird widths. And each one has a good application for different purposes. So I might go back and color some of these in, and I'm going to fill this in. Hopefully I have time to sit down and continue working on it, but for you and your purposes, my son was drawing a horse, I think. For your purposes, I easily spent probably a few hours on this. Some of these other ones I've spent less time on. You know, just drawing flowers over and over again and then creating like some of the stuff around it. If you want to go back in and you want to color it, this is yours. You can play with this as you want. Our Zentangle coloring books or our crazy coloring books right now are essentially people that sit around and just draw crazy lines and expect you to go ahead and fill them in as you wish and as you please. We will post another video, hopefully, for shapes next. And this is where we're at. I hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy, and we will talk to you soon.